No one walked into a room and decided to burn the world down. That was the story they wanted you to believe, that it was chaos, that no one could have seen it coming, that the collapse of a trillion-dollar system was just weather, an act of God, something with wings and no fingerprints. But weather doesn't have lawyers. They called them financial instruments, tools. As if greed needed a violin, the CDO, the credit default swap, the synthetic derivative. Each one another layer placed between a banker and the consequences of what he was selling. By the time the product reached the buyer, it had been renamed 3 times, given a AAA rating by a firm being paid by the very bank that created it, and no one alive truly understands what it actually is. That wasn't a flaw in the design. That was the design. He was 43. He worked in logistics. Every month he set money aside, investing it into a fund his company offered, his HR department recommended, his colleague endorsed. The brochure said stable, diversified, and built for the long term, in a font that cost more than his monthly mortgage payment. In September 2008, he lost 60% of it in 72 hours. The men who built that fund did not lose money that week. For the previous year, they had quietly positioned themselves on the other side of the trade. They knew it would collapse. They bet against it before it did. This is documented. This was investigated. There is a word for what they did in the criminal code of every civilized country on earth. But it was never applied. The settlement came. No admission of wrongdoing. Those 4 words are the most important 4 words in modern finance. They mean, we are paying you to stop looking. The fine was large enough for the headlines to write themselves as accountability, and small enough that the behavior it was supposed to punish remained, in every financial sense, profitable. A fine without a confession is just the cost of doing business. They budget for it. It appears as a line item in internal risk assessments. The math is not complicated. The math is the point. The man in logistics is still paying off debt from 2008. His pension never recovered. His older daughter took out loans for college. His younger daughter decided not to go. The man who structured that fund now manages a private equity firm. The market always recovers. You will hear this for the rest of your life, and it will be true. And it will completely miss the point. The index recovers. The number on the screen returns. But an index is not a person. A recovery in the aggregate can contain within it a permanent, irreversible loss at the individual level, and the system will call both of these things by the same name and ask you not to notice the difference. The system is not broken. That is the hardest thing to understand. If a system consistently produces the same outcomes, across different crises, different countries, different decades, always in the same direction, always with the same people carrying the cost, then those outcomes are not failures. They are features. We call it a financial crisis. But it was never a crisis for finance. It was exactly what it was designed to be.